Welcome back for another deep dive. You know we love getting into the details.
You do.
And today we're all about e-bikes.
Specifically.
This Dutch e-bike.
That's right.
Called the ebike.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
I've not heard of this.
Or a review that we're looking at called it Totally Balanced.
Totally balanced. Okay.
And that really caught my eye. I was like, totally balanced.
Right.
You don't see that every day, do you?
No, you don't. What does that even mean?
Exactly. So we're going to find out, right? Plus, they've got some cool features, an always-on headlight.
Okay.
That's shaped like an X. They've got a real focus on ergonomics.
Okay.
And
I love ergonomics.
And a surprising connection to fat bikes and safety regulations.
Oh, interesting.
So get ready. This is going to be a fun ride.
All right, let's do it. What I think is so fascinating about this review is that it's not just about specs. It's about how all the parts work together to create a great riding experience.
They talk about this total balance, and they're raving about how the components are carefully selected.
Yeah.
But it's like more than that, right?
I think so.
It's how everything comes together for a comfortable, adjustable ride.
Yeah.
Imagine a bike that feels like an extension of yourself.
Right.
They talk about this 3-point adjustable stem, customizable handlebars.
I like it.
And ergonomic grips.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That comfort is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it tells you that this Bixby is aimed at people who actually want to enjoy their ride.
Right.
Not just have the most powerful e-bike on the block. It's not about chasing specs. It's about the whole experience.
It is about the experience. And it's not just about comfort.
Right.
It's also about safety. And they talk about safety a lot. Always on, X-shaped headlight and rear lights.
Yeah.
You know how important visibility is?
Oh, absolutely.
Especially as the days get shorter. It's like brilliant.
Yeah. And the reviewer does have a word of caution, though.
What?
Adjust that main headlight properly. You don't want to be blinding oncoming traffic.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a good reminder to be considerate out there.
For sure. And speaking of being considerate, you can actually electronically lock the Bixby.
Oh, really?
Using their app.
Okay.
And get this, there's built-in GPS tracking.
Whoa.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. The GPS is free for the first year.
Okay.
And then it's a subscription.
Oh.
And the reviewer and Bixby actually had a bit of a back and forth about this in the comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll link the blog post if you guys want to see the whole conversation.
Makes you wonder if we're going to see more and more subscription features popping up on e-bikes.
Yeah.
As bikes get more and more connected,
are
people going to be happy about those recurring costs?
Right.
Something to think about.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, let's get to the heart of the matter. The motor and the battery.
All right.
The reviewer loves that the rear motor is super quiet and the power assist feels intuitive.
Yeah.
No awkward surges
Got it.
or anything. And they were really impressed with the range.
Oh, yeah.
100-kilometer ride on a single charge with the bigger battery.
Whoa.
And they weren't even worried about running out of juice because you can just pedal it like a regular bike if you need to.
Right.
No range anxiety here.
That's a great point. You get the best of both worlds with this bike. Electric power when you want it.
Yeah.
And the option to just ride it unassisted.
Totally. Now, this is where things get really interesting. The Bixby uses a Gates belt drive instead of a traditional chain. You know how chains can get all greasy and messy?
Yeah.
Well, say goodbye to that. This belt drive is supposed to be super low maintenance.
It really emphasizes that balance the review keeps talking about.
Right.
They went for simplicity.
Yes.
And reliability. Perfect for people who value ease of use.
Yeah.
And low maintenance.
And speaking of simple things, this bike is single speed.
Single speed.
Now, before you think that's a deal breaker, the reviewer found the gearing to be totally fine for their needs.
Interesting. The interesting thing here is how the reviewer connects the choice of using a torque sensor to the whole debate around e-bike safety.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to fat bikes in the Netherlands, which we'll get into in just a bit.
Okay.
But first, have you ever ridden an e-bike that felt like it was kind of taking over when you hit a certain speed?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
It can be a little unnerving.
Yeah.
Well, the Bixby uses a torque sensor.
Okay.
Which is different from a speed sensor that some other e-bikes use.
Yeah.
The torque sensor responds to how hard you're pedaling.
Okay.
So it feels much more natural.
Got it.
And it gives you more control.
That makes a lot of sense. I can see why they would prefer that.
Yeah.
Especially for safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to this whole other discussion about speed sensors on fat bikes.
Okay.
The reviewer goes on kind of a rant about how dangerous speed sensors can be and how they should be banned.
Wow.
It's a pretty hot topic, especially in the Netherlands.
Right.
Where they're having all these debates about fat bike regulations.
Oh, yeah. Those bikes with the really wide tires.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen them around. They look fun to ride on the beach.
They are fun to ride on the beach.
Yeah.
But because of their design, some people argue they don't really belong on bike paths.
Yeah.
Especially if they have speed sensors that could make them go too fast.
Yeah.
In those environments.
Makes you think about the future of all this stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting to see how a design choice like that can spark a much larger debate.
Totally.
It really highlights how technology impacts not just how we ride, but also the rules and regulations that are created around it.
For sure.
But let's get back to what makes the Big Zeppy unique.
Yeah.
Besides the cool tech, the reviewer was really happy with all the little details.
Yeah, what else?
Sturdy fenders.
Okay.
Hydraulic brakes. Comfy saddle. A kickstand that doesn't feel flimsy. They even mentioned the smooth wells on the frame.
Oh, wow.
Even though they admitted they don't usually care much about how a bike looks.
I love it when companies pay attention to those little details.
I do.
It shows they really care about the whole package.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of this points back to that total balance concept.
Yes.
The Bixby EVs isn't just about flashy tech. It's about thoughtful design.
Right.
Every aspect.
Okay, so now for the bottom line. The Bixby T cost €2,199. Right. Which seems pretty reasonable considering all the features and the quality.
Yeah.
And here's another thing.
What's that?
You can only buy them through actual bike shops.
Interesting.
So you can test ride them and get support from someone local.
Smart move.
Right.
Definitely shows they're not just trying to sell bikes online.
Yeah.
They want people to have a good experience from start to finish.
Totally. All right, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
We talked about the total balance philosophy.
Yeah.
Comfort, safety features, all that tech.
Yeah.
We even dove into the debate about speed sensors and fat bikes.
Yeah, we did.
What stands out to you the most so far?
You know what I think is really intriguing?
Yeah.
Is how the Bixby seems to be looking ahead.
Okay.
At what's next for e-bikes.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, I'm wondering if this emphasis on balanced components, safety, and the whole riding experience is a sign of things to come. Is this the future of e-bikes or just a really well-made niche product?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is the question. Let's dig a little deeper into the Bixby. We'll unpack some more details from the review.
Okay.
And maybe by the end of this deep dive, we'll have a better idea of where e-bikes are headed.
I like it. So we've painted a pretty positive picture of the Bixby so far.
We have.
But, you know, with any e-bike,
right,
there are going to be some things to think about before you run out and buy one.
Absolutely.
So potential drawbacks jumped out at you from the review.
Well, one thing that might be a deal breaker for some people is the single-speed drivetrain.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about how the Netherlands is super flat?
Right.
Well, that single speed might not be the best choice if you live in a hilly area.
Yeah.
Or you're used to having a bunch of gears to choose from.
That's a good point. Not everyone is cruising along canals all day long.
Exactly. And then there's that subscription for the GPS tracking.
Right.
It's great to have that peace of mind, but that recurring cost might not be appealing to everyone.
Especially since we're already seeing subscriptions for everything these days.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So it comes down to personal preference. How much you value having that GPS tracking.
For sure.
Speaking of personal preference, let's talk a bit more about comfort.
Okay.
What did you think about all those ergonomic features?
You know, I love that they made it so adjustable.
Yeah.
That 3-point stem, customizable handlebars. Yeah. It seems like they really want you to be able to fine-tune the fit to your body.
And those ergonomic grips.
Yeah.
They sound amazing.
Right.
You know, when I ride for a long time, my hands always start to ache.
Oh, yeah.
Grips that are designed for comfort could make a huge difference.
Yeah.
For real.
Totally agree. It's the kind of detail that makes a bike feel like it was made for you.
Exactly.
It's those little things that can make or break a ride.
I agree.
So we talked a lot about comfort.
Right.
But the safety features are pretty impressive too, right?
Absolutely. Those always-on-X headlights sound like a game changer for visibility.
Yeah.
Especially when it's dark or foggy out.
Ah, such a good idea.
I know.
And, you know, it's great that the reviewer reminds everyone to adjust their main headlight properly.
Yeah.
We all have a responsibility to be safe out there.
For sure.
Both for ourselves and for other people on the road.
Exactly. And then there's the GPS tracking.
Right.
Which adds another level of security.
Yep.
It might not be a must-have for everyone.
Yeah.
But it could be a real selling point for people who live in areas with high bike theft.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
absolutely.
Okay, enough about the features.
Yeah, let's get to
Let's get to the heart.
To the heart of any e-bike.
The motor and battery.
What did you think about the Bixby setup?
I was really impressed by how the reviewer described the motor.
Yeah.
It's quiet. And the power assist sounds seamless.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No jerky movements or anything like that.
Right.
They made it sound like an extension of your own pedaling.
And that 100-kilometer range?
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal. I know a lot of people worry about running out of battery on an e-bike.
For sure.
But with the Bixby,
yeah,
you've got options.
Exactly.
You can use the power assist as little as you want.
Yeah, you're not trapped by the battery.
Right. Okay, let's talk about my favorite feature.
Okay.
The Gates belt drive. Think of it like a car's timing belt.
Okay.
Quiet, clean, and incredibly durable.
No more messy chains.
No more messy chains.
What a smart choice.
It's such a smart choice.
For people who value low maintenance.
Yeah.
And it goes hand in hand with that single-speed drivetrain.
Right?
They really went for simplicity here.
They did. Now, remember how the reviewer had some strong opinions about speed sensors?
Yeah.
Especially on fat bikes.
Yeah.
That part of the review really made me think.
It is a fascinating discussion, isn't it? It makes you realize that new technologies always come with new challenges. In this case, it's about figuring out how to regulate e-bikes.
Right.
Especially the ones that can go pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like fat bikes.
It's a good point.
It's a reminder that we need to have conversations about these things.
Yeah.
And make sure we're creating rules that prioritize safety.
Totally agree. Makes you think about how design choices.
It does.
Even something as seemingly simple as the type of sensor can have these big ripple effects.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the pros and cons, the tech, the safety, even delved into some of the bigger issues surrounding e-bikes.
We did.
But before we wrap things up, I want to go back to that concept of total balance.
Yeah.
That the review kept emphasizing. What does that actually mean for the rider? I think it means having a bike that feels harmonious.
Okay.
You know, like all the parts are working together
to
create a smooth, enjoyable, and safe ride.
Okay.
It's about more than just having the fanciest components.
Yeah.
It's about how those components come together to create a truly great riding experience.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about the whole being greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
And the Bixby seems to have achieved that.
Yeah, they seem to have.
So what does this all mean? Where do we go from here?
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this be the start of a new trend in e-bikes?
It's definitely an interesting thought. Imagine a future where e-bikes aren't just about power and speed, but about the entire riding experience, where comfort, safety, and thoughtful design are just as important as the latest tech specs.
I think that would be amazing.
Right.
It would make e-bikes even more appealing to a wider range of people.
Exactly. It could change how we think about transportation and recreation.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe it could even inspire other industries to adopt a more holistic approach to design.
It's a great point. It's not just about e-bikes. It's about like a shift in thinking.
Right.
But the question is the Bixby just a one-off?
Right.
Or is it a sign of things to come?
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
But the fact that a bike like this exists is exciting. It shows that there's a demand for something different.
Right.
Something more balanced.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, the Bixby will be the catalyst for that change.
I like that.
You know, it could be the bike that shows other manufacturers that there's a better way to do things.
It'd be pretty cool to see that happen.
It would.
So what do you think?
Yeah.
After diving deep into this review, would you consider getting a Bixby?
You know, I think I would. I love that they've thought about every aspect of the riding experience, from the way it feels to the way it's built. It's like they've anticipated my needs before I even knew I had them.
I think that's the mark of a truly great product.
Yeah.
You know, it solves problems you didn't even know you had.
Right.
And it makes you excited to experience something new.
I think that's a perfect way to sum up this deep dive.
Really?
The Bixby is more than just an e-bike. It's an idea.
Ooh.
It's a vision for a future where technology enhances our lives without dictating them. And that's something worth thinking about.
That is something worth thinking about.
So to all of our listeners out there, we leave you with this. What do you value in an e-bike? Or in any product for that matter?
That's a good question.
Don't be afraid to demand more.
Right.
To expect better.
I like it.
Because just like the Bixby has shown us,
balance is achievable.
Balance is achievable. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Happy writing.